Let's go.
Let's talk some toys in here.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Today it's the Man-Child. All right, so today for review, we're gonna take a look at the new Masters of the Universe times ThunderCats Battle Cat Man. So check it out. We get Battle Cat in a cat man form, which is pretty neat. Now the company Mythic Legions made something similar to Battle Cat Man. That wasn't his name, but that was they were the Four Horsemen that sculpted a lot of the classics line, and they kind of made their own fantasy line that was something similar to the classics, but its own thing. And of course, they would take certain iconic characters like He-Man, Skeletor, Battle Cat, you name it, and mix it into this line. I actually had that figure for a while. Believe it or not, I sold it. It was pretty cool. I didn't collect a lot of those figures. They were just expensive, and I had enough with the classics and the Motu. But yeah, so we get a Battle Cat Man in this ThunderCats line. Makes sense in a way. My only gripe is the mouth is not sculpted open or doesn't articulate, or he did not come with a second head. And what's funny is that's what I didn't like about the Mythic Legion's Battle Cat character. It wasn't man, but whatever the name was of him. I kind of wish they would have did that with this Battle Cat, because when I think of Battle Cat, the mouth is always, mouth is always open with the teeth showing, just in that battle-ready pose. So a little disappointed about that. And I don't think the jaw articulates. Side that really is interesting looking. And then the last point is that this Battle Cat Man also has a whole new sculpted buck, I want to say legs and arms, that's different from Lino and Skelra, which I just reviewed yesterday. And of course, I'll bring those two in later and compare them against this body, but that's pretty cool. And now, of course, Battle Cat Man comes on a new standard Masters of the Universe times ThunderCat card, right? You can see the exploding rocks, the logo, and yeah, these cards are really thick, by the way. Very good construction. And then here's a quick look at the art and back of the packaging. So we see Battle Cat Man with the mouth open, teeth showing, fighting Beast Man with the mouth open, teeth showing, which I like. And then dropping down, here's another picture image of Battle Cat Man with just the mouth closed down and two fangs sticking out. So at least they did do that with this figure. They sculpted a couple fangs. He has a big pair of claws, and he's also the most powerful cat in the universe. Here's a closer look at the bio for Battle Cat Man. You want to pause and read that. And then dropping down to the very bottom, it just shows that he has attached claws to the wrists. And these are all three figures as part of this Wave 1 of the ThunderCats crossover series. Okay, before we take a look at Battle Cat Man and all his accessories, he comes with a new comic. It's the same comic that all three figures in Wave 1 will come with. I already showed it in my Lino review. It's called Third Eternia. Look at the cover. I'm just going to flip the pages real quick, bring it up. Right? You want to read the captions, look at the images you can. So, it's just, basically showing the crossover, what's going on with the ThunderCats, Eternia, He-Man, Skeletor, all that's good stuff to help push this brand. Next page. There's Chitara. I just got her in too. I'll review her soon. Panthora. He's coming to Wave 2. Along with Tiger, I believe. It's Lino. Alright, there's a new He-Man. He's also coming to Wave 2. Okay, there we go. There's Battle Cat Man in the background there. And then there's Skelra. There's Tiger in prison. Skeletor, Skelra. That's it. And then here's a quick 360 look around. A new Battle Cat Man, all his accessories at a package. There's two claws. So, taking a closer look at this new head sculpt for Battle Cat Man. I think they did a good job with it, as far as the overall design and sculpt. Side, once again, the mouth isn't open or does not articulate. But let me make sure. Nope, it's just a soft piece of rubber. The main snout of the face. But yeah, you do have the fangs sticking up. The bottom ones, they're sculpted outwards and painted white. You notice that. So he has a new style helmet. Something reminiscent of what Battle Cat would have as far as a helmet, but yet different, because now he's more human-like, or however it mutated as part of his main mutation into this character. As far as your articulation with the helmet on, that's not going to hinder nothing, but you can look all the way to the left, the right, go look all the way down and all the way up. Now, what's cool is the helmet does come off. It's not plugged or glued on. And there you go. And there's a better look at Battle Cat, the main head. So, yeah, it looks like Battle Cat somewhat, and mixed with human, human-like elements. That's what he's supposed to be doing now, I guess. Good detail inside the eyes. Again, very human-like. but you have the cat features around the rest of the head. A lot of fur coming off the main part of the face, or we talked about the snout, the nose, cat nose, fur under the chin. The yellow highlight, the stripes or highlights on, the top of the head and the fur. So look from the side, you got the big pointy ears, cat ears. Just look from the back, you have extra sculpting details as far as the main fur coming off the back of the head. Here's a look at the other side. And yeah, that's about it. And then again, with the articulation without the helmet on, that's what it looked like to the left, the right. Go down and back, nothing new. And here's a little closer look at that helmet off the head. So I like the design of it. It's got a couple big spikes up top. Some really hard plastic. It fits on easy. It's not like something's going to fall right off. So it's an interesting design. Put it back on for now. All right, where are we at? Moving down. So as I mentioned earlier, he has a new style buck that's different from Lino, but yet smaller, different from Skelra, which I will bring in and compare. He has a new style chest harness. Going back to something like He-Man would wear, the cross armor, but it's round, obviously, in the center. And you have the Eye of Thundera that is it's a sticker as well on the main part of the armor. It's cast in like a metallic silver tone. You can see under my lights. And here's a look from the back and how it's going to come apart. You got a couple pegs here too for like a shield or accessories that could plug into it, which he doesn't come with any. He saw the claws. So I like that. It's pretty cool. Works for Battle Cat. As far as the articulation of the body, so of course you could spin at the body, the new buck. And let's break them apart. That's what it would look like if you broke them apart. Here's a look at the belt. I'll take that off soon. Just going to bounce around here. All right, and then moving back up to the arms, check those out first. So, yeah, again, new style arms to match the body and legs. He has these, big shoulder guards on both the left and right side with the big horns. Same color as the helmet, which is pretty cool. As far as the articulation with the right arm, with the shoulder arm piece on, and let me see, so how does it come off? All right, so it looks like it's going to push up over the arm. So as far as the articulation, we can go all the way back, forward, out, or up like so, down to the body. So it still works pretty good with this. There it is, now it's coming loose. Bend up at the elbow, go all the way to the face, down to the chest. The elbow can straighten all the way out. You can spin at the elbow. Now these arms are really long, by the way, too, if you notice, with these newer style figures. They go all the way down to the legs. Then he has this new style gauntlet, a couple big spikes, like the spike on top of this shoulder piece. On the shoulder. That's interesting, too. I like it. Identical on left and right side, and that's a separate piece. Looks like it's going to come off, so it's not part of the forearm. Has some extra, just futuristic details or something, the way the sculpt is. I don't know, it reminds me of, the sculpting through it, how they went about it. And then, so it's a real soft rubber, and all right, the other side is exactly the same. And then he has a gripping hand on the side, which the hinge joint can go, it goes in and out, and then it can spin all over the hand. And it looks like, I want to say regular style Origins hands, like a He-Man hand, but just green. It's not like overly sized, from what I can see. Actually, let me bring in a He-Man real quick, and I'll compare He-Man later, so let me make sure. They look pretty much the same to me, as far as a He-Man hand, or something similar. All right, and then moving back over to the left side, right, same type of shoulder guard. Now, I don't know if they're both the same, if there's a left and a right. They look, I guess it doesn't. Now they do look a little different. Anyway, so once again with the articulation on this arm and the shoulder guard, you can go all the way up, down, forward, back, bend at the elbow, spin, straighten it out. Right, same type of gauntlet as I already mentioned on the right side. Now that can spin around a little bit, and again, so far as the hand can spin, the hinge joint goes in and out. Now let me see something here. I'm going to pull the arm out of the socket. Just want to. Okay, so that's a look at the arm removed. It's typical Origin style arm peg. Not the new. Let me put that back in there like so. And then moving back down to the waist once again. So here's the new style loincloth. The fur hangs all the way down to the center of the body. Here's a look at the back. Now, I mentioned this in my videos a couple times already, especially with Skelra, but when I reviewed Lino, a couple people in the comments said that they think the new body for Lino might be used for the 2000X figures that's going to be coming to the Origins, because they did announce them. And the more I looked at it, I agree, because I had a lot of the 2000X inspired figures, and they just have that, body where it's very bulky, the overly long, skinny legs, the smaller type head. Battle Cat too, you notice like the head is like much more smaller smaller than the body. So it kind of reminds me of that. Or maybe these bodies could be used for the, I think there's a movie line coming out too next year for both. It might be for the Origins and Masterverse or one or the other. You know, it could be used for that as well. I'm not really sure. But it definitely reminds me of something you could use for 2000X for overly large figures and figures in between if they wanted to. This could be like Beastman arms or something, and they just make another type with, you know, fur on it, same thing with the body. But that's what the belts definitely remind me of, the loincloth and belt. So it's pretty flexible, and then if you peel it up, just a rubber, type of rubber guard underneath. I'm going to leave this on for a second. So dropping down to the legs. Now, another all-new style, I want to say another type of new leg, but before, let me bring in Lino for a second. Yep, so it's totally different from Lino. See, that's a lot larger. It's almost the same length, but Lino's very small, and this one's larger, so it's different. As far as the articulation with these legs, go all the way out with a split, kick forward, go back, bend at the knee, spin at the knee. All right, other legs are all the same. Forward, back, spin at the knee, all that good stuff. And then he has these like ankle boots or gauntlets with fur on them. Of course, he doesn't have the foot. And they can spin. And if you want to take them off, you can. Or typical Origin style pegs. Already looked at them before. Pretty neat design. And then, of course, as I already mentioned, doesn't have a boot over the main foot. But if you want to change He-Man boots out or something in place of these, you could. And then here's a look at the foot, like a human creature, cat, battle cat foot. As far as articulation with that, go all the way up, down, rock side to side. And the other boot and foot is all the same. Okay, take a look at Battle Cat Man's weapons and accessories. And the only weapon / accessory he comes with is the Battle Cat claws. And you get a pair for left and right side. They look exactly the same. I don't see anything different with them. All right. Yeah, pretty cool. Be neat if these articulated or something. Have little articulated hinge joints. I guess I didn't expect that. And they're hollow on the inside. And they have little clips that looks like they're going to go over to the hands. So once again, take a look at Battle Cat Man. Let's put the claws on over the hands. So yeah, they just clip on like so over the hand. At first I thought maybe they clipped onto the gauntlet or bracer, and they don't. And just put one on one side, one on the other, right? Like this. They seem like they're holding pretty well for what they are. They could have made the clips a little longer, maybe to go around the hands. And then just a quick look at that setup. So yeah, we have Battle Cat Man all set up with both claws on. That's pretty much it. And then as far as articulation, you can spin the arms or claws that way, right? All the way back to the original position, or however you want them, in conjunction with the combination of arms, slash and fight and all that good stuff. And they seem to be holding okay, but every now and then when you twist, these, like this one will pop off. So you just gotta use a little caution with that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a cool setup. I mean, for the limited weapons or accessories they give this Battle Cat Man. All right, the next thing I want to do is remove all the armor pieces off the body. So we know that the helmet pops right off. These pieces, right, snap off the hands now. I'm going to break the waist in half, remove this, I'm going to call it a 2000X style loincloth. This reminds me of, put this back together. Now to remove the armor in the back, it's just going to pop up like so, go over the head. And okay, once again, we got to break the body in half, get rid of that. Put this back together again. These things, the gauntlets are going to have to, I got to remove the hands, excuse me, on both sides. And then these shoulder pieces should slide right down off the arms once I remove the hands and pull these off. And then here's a quick look at Battle Cat Man with all the armor pieces removed off the body. So we can get a better look at the additional yellow stripes on the main part of the buck, what they did on the arms, right down the front of the legs, where we talked about the head. And then if you spin them around, there's nothing on the back. So yeah, once again, a whole new design with the buck arms and legs. What I'll do is I'm going to bring in Lino and Skelra pretty soon. I'll remove the armor pieces and compare them all, show you what I'm talking about. Because they're definitely three different style bodies, arms, and legs. What else? So the articulations are all the same. Nothing, it's all, yeah, everything's the same. It's interesting how long the forearms are now on these figures, especially Battle Cat. Same thing with Skelra, really long. I already mentioned that earlier, but it was all the way down to the knee. I wonder if he can like pose like he's running like a cat. I guess that ain't the idea. It's more human, but no, he's not going to do that. It doesn't have the double hinge legs. And then the other thing is the leg can also come off too. So we can break apart the body, the arms, the hands, and these legs too. Show you they can pop right out. Ball joint, the sockets and the hips. For customs, like yes, what are you going to do with these? Because it just has its own unique paint to it. And that's about it. Then here's a closer look at the armor pieces removed off the body. So here's those gauntlets for the left and right side, exactly the same, very soft rubber. Here's the shoulder pieces off both sides. I guess they look also the same. I don't think it matters left and right side which way you put them on. They just slid right down the arm. Look at those. They're also very soft. Here's a little closer look at the main cross armor. The Eye of Thunder sticker in it. There's the back. I'm already familiar with the helmet. And then here's the new loincloth. Okay, moving forward with some comparisons. So obviously here's a quick comparison between the new ThunderCats Lino and our Battle Cat Man. So as I already mentioned, I'm going to strip the armor off both these figures, or at least I have it off him. And here's Lino with the armor stripped off. And there you go. There's a look at the two new bucks that they're using for this line, and they're definitely going to be used for who knows what. 2000X coming, a movie line, something else, but completely different. Now, I already showed this Lino, comparisons with the regular He-Man, cartoon He-Man in my Lino review. And yeah, not the same buck at all. I mean, obviously, some people might not know that. But yeah, look at that. Look how much bigger Battle Cat is. Just everything's completely different. Legs, big arms. Right? We talked about the legs there, completely different. Yep. Let's look at the back. Yeah, really interesting. And then for the next size comparison, I brought in Skelra, or now he's set up as Mumra, against Battle Cat Man. So obviously I have them all stripped down aside, left a little bandage on, but look at that. It's a larger style body over the Battle Cat Man. At first I thought it was the same one, but nope. It's bigger, whole different body. Arms are completely different. Legs are different, a lot larger, right? The hands are, so they're using the same hands, looks like to me. I don't know if these, yeah, same hands, but really interesting. And there's a look from the back, the overall size. So, yeah, here you go. You got three different, all new bucks, arms, and legs with these figures alone in the ThunderCats line. And there's a Lino without the armor on next to Mumra. All right, once again, with both figures all dressed back up, here's a quick comparison between Lino and our new Battle Cat Man together. And then here's a quick look with Skelra all dressed up next to Battle Cat Man. And then I brought in a regular Origins He-Man against Battle Cat Man. And then here's a quick look with the cartoon He-Man against Battle Cat Man. And lastly, for a little fun, of course, I had to bring in the regular Origins Battle Cat against Battle Cat Man. For why not? All right, it's what he came from. Quick look at those two together. Kind of strange. And what will Battle Cat Man look like on Battle Cat? For some reason, just curious with the new aesthetics. Here we go. We have Battle Cat riding Battle Cat, or Battle Cat Man riding Battle Cat. That about sums it up. That's my review on the new Masters of the Universe, ThunderCats, Battle Cat Man. I really like him. I think he's cool. I think a Battle Cat Man was a good fit for this ThunderCats crossover. And they're probably going to come out with a Panther as well. They also did that in the Mythic Legions line, something similar to him. I like the new body. Again, we have three different style bodies that this ThunderCats line has sculpted that's going to be used in something else coming. Yeah, like a big beast body. The arms are interesting too, but they're really long. I don't know how I feel about that, but maybe for Battle Cat it works. I like all the colors. It's neat that they gave him the new cross-style armor with the Eye of Thunder in it. I like the helmet. All the armor pieces, really fun. The claws are neat. They hold okay, but sometimes when you move the hands, they can pop off, so you got to be careful of that. And my biggest gripe, again, is the mouth. I would have felt he would have been a little more intimidating if he had an articulated jaw or a second head with the mouth sculpted open, or even if the head came with the mouth sculpted open, like in the back of the card art. I think that would have been a little bit better for Battle Cat Man in battle. But beside that, at least he has a couple fangs showing, so that's a good start, Yeah, what are you going to do? It's pretty cool seeing him in a line. So as always, I appreciate everybody watching. Until next time, take care.